Romano Pontifical College. Pio Romano is the only institution in Rome currently under the patronage of the Vatican. Mihai Vorotila is the author of several essays where he has an insightful look at the relationship between the Christian hope and the psychological dismemberment of the modern man. Mihai Vorotila had his own experience of the COVID-19 infection, and here's what he wrote about that, quote, "When I was infected with COVID-19, the famous parasite microorganism, I found myself with no previous notification, with no choice other than having to face the prospect of losing my wealth. Any cries, any lament, but also the acts of bravery, all that was to no avail. As soon as I recovered from the disease, and believe you me, it wasn't at all easy for me, in a phone conversation with Gabriele Luciano, our exchange inevitably veered towards my encounter with the disease. The philosopher's voice was cautious, but his question was blunt. What faith of any use to you, Monsignore? I was taken aback by his question, appropriate as it may have been. In no way did I feel the call of pontificating about the superiority of faith. For the time I being tested was at its most serious, I, for one, was not at my best in terms of courage, supposedly indomitable, yet in no way did I feel brave at that time. My power came from my attachment to crucified Jesus. To be more specific, with a blend of joy and suffering embedded in his person, unquote. In our society where the Christian faith is more often than not a reason to brag about it, and not a reason to have its full-fledged inner experience, Mihai Vorotila's diary is indeed very special. Warmly, clearly and directly, Mihai Vorotila evokes the beneficial grace of the faith in God. That God which is not that well known, the God of Jesus, but suffers with us. So the precious gift is being offered to us, that of the hope-generating discerning powers. This is the core tenet of an outspoken text marked by an unexpected set of personal experiences, pleading with restrained elegance for the fact that character needs to be forged under the burden of a test. Why would rather be prepared for the common good? A diary at the time of a pandemic is a book awaiting the good, no matter what the hardships might be these days. The Metropolitan Library in Bucharest and Bucharest Municipality's Center for Seniors, over April the 1st and September the 30th, 2021, organizes an online literary creation contest dedicated to the seniors. This year, the theme is time. The deadline for the submission of text is July the 31st, 2021. The Time Literary Creation Contest seeks to discover the capital city's most talented seniors, prose writers or poets, who thus have the opportunity to gain popularity and recognition, thus overcoming the hindrance generated by the present pandemic situation, which means isolation and lack of communication. The categories are non-fiction, essay, no more than 4 pages, fiction, no more than 6 pages, poetry, 3 to 10 poems, and borderline text, memoirs, no more than 10 pages. The names of the winners will be posted on the website and Facebook and Instagram pages of Bucharest Metropolitan Library and Bucharest Municipality's Center for Seniors. The best works will be included in a volume titled An Anthology of Literary Creations as part of the Literature Without Age series, to be brought out under the aegis of the Bucharest Metropolitan Library Publishers. George Arion is one of Romania's most accomplished, most respected, and best-known authors of thrillers. His latest release is titled The Hand That Closes the Eyelids. He was brought out by the Crime Scene Press publishers. This is a novel featuring George Arion. The COVID-19 pandemic is still at its most serious. Andrei Mladin is invited to write a short story to be published in a collection of short stories in France. Easier said than done, apparently. The circumstances are ideal for that, but not for long. When he receives a phone call from his friend who is in hospital, Andrei is asked to look after the antiquarian shop owned by his friend and fulfill his friend's orders. Andrei consents to that, but with a feeling of uneasiness. And since no good deed remains without its retribution, Andrei Mladin finds himself in the midst of a plot targeting the president, also being dragged into an investigation focusing on the broken destiny of several young women. Will anyone ever write anything under the circumstances? As the pressure of all that takes its toll on the act of writing properly, writing down the words turns more and more difficult, and the border between reality and fiction becomes even fuzzier. The character's anguish intertwines with the author's anguish, which is transporting, tempting, disturbing. Can anyone escape their own mind at all? Whom should you trust? This is a literary tour de force. This is the brainchild of the most popular Romanian author of mystery and thriller, George Arion. Critically acclaimed poets, journalists, and critics have heaped praise on the novel. And on the author himself. Archie Braga, poet and journalist in the Tribuna, the Tribune literary magazine, wrote, quote, "The hero is a mix of Sam Spade and Marlowe, a cool Superman and a Don Juan, but once a loser and an invincible character," unquote. Quote, "You cannot create a book yourself unless you yourself have swallowed several libraries beforehand. Loads of respect, Mr. George Arion," unquote. Literary critic and novelist this time around as well, that the crime and mystery literature is essentially, over and above anything else, literature. Unquote. Gerolamo is one of Romania's most important post-war poets. Critics, young and old, have written comprehensive work where new analytical approaches to Gerolamo's poetry provide fresh perspectives on his creation. The Romanians are themselves creative in creation.
If it was not for the noise reduction, I mean, they are the Texan PL990X and DSP SDR here are performing the same pretty much, but that noise reduction feature brings forward a signal that even the Texan PL990X cannot do. I am still extremely amazed at the performance of this noise reduction here.
Coming up next on Radio Romania International, Simply Funk. Welcome to Simply Folk. I'm Evgen Nasta. Ion Dragoi was one of the greatest footballers of Moldavia and also of Romania. Dragoi was a violin virtuoso. His sole motto was that of taking the art of performing Romanian